How are you doing? It's Kirsten Liebelt. It's so good to see you. It's Friday. You guys, we are like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We're 4 days away from Christmas Eve. Oh, I know that I am not completely ready. I am not ready. Okay, that's okay though. It's okay. I'm not freaking out yet. Good morning, you guys. Good to see you. Come on in. Let's chat just a little bit. Okay, so let's see. If you're on the replay, let me know you're on the replay. I would love to know. Love to know where you're coming in from. And today we're going to talk about 7 surprising signs of insulin resistance that you should not ignore. That is our topic of the day. Every day we come here 10 a.m. Central Standard Time and we chat about insulin resistance. If you do not know like anything about me or, wow, that's so weird. Where are my, where's my chat? Where are my comments? That is so bizarre. OMG, you guys. I don't know if I'm, oh, wait. Okay, we'll see. We'll see if they come through. Okay. Who moved my cheese? There's a book called that. Did you know that? Who moved my cheese? Okay. So if you don't know me or my story or my background or anything, and I'm brand new to your face, welcome. My name is Kirsten Liebelt. I was raised by an insulin dependent type 2 dad who died at 63. He was diagnosed when I was born. So at 35, he's diagnosed. Was he 35? Yep. And he died at 63. And so my entire life was all about, like, I knew where the hypodermic needles were in his bedroom, I know the dresser drawer with the Ziploc baggie, and you were never supposed to go in there and touch them. I remember where the insulin vials were in the refrigerator. Like, I was raised on Tab soda. Was anybody else raised on Tab soda? We were raised on Tab soda. We were raised on the whole, like, he ate a lot of cereal, which, okay, well, I could do an entire live on why you should never eat cereal, but okay, whatever. He ate a lot of cereal because that's what you were supposed to do. You're supposed to eat like 9 to 11 servings of grain a day. We now know that's a scam. But anyway, and he would put the pink packets, right? And blah, blah, blah. So I was raised this was my world, but also I'm Italian. And so there's a lot of type 2 and obesity in my family, in the fullness of my family, right? And my dad just had a lot of medication and a lot of medical procedures, and he had very low quality of life because his quality went like this until he was gone at 63. So I just knew that I didn't want that life, but I had no clue how to avoid that. Zero, nada, nothing. At the time, he's 30, I'm 30, he's 63, he dies. I've already been gestational diabetic with one baby. I've been hypoglycemic with a second baby. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just assume everything is genetic. I change nothing. I change nothing until I'm in my upper 40s. Like, wisdom, it was not. Not wisdom. Just telling you my story. So then when I decided to change things out, I had no idea how to do it. And I did not think I would ever trade out my food because, hello, you guys, I'm Italian. Like, I'm going to make sauce tomorrow. And I'm going to make meatballs on Monday because Christmas Eve, like, you never had a holiday without pasta. If you had turkey on Thanksgiving, you had turkey and pasta. If you had a ham on Easter, you had ham and pasta. So what are we going to do on Christmas Eve? Most of us actually now eat like almost no pasta. So maybe we'll make some for a couple people that want it. But for the most part, we'll enjoy the meatballs with the sauce. Anyway, I'm just saying we've really morphed a lot in our family. But so I'm going to do, because there's all those emotional connections to food. I know I'm not the only one that has emotional connections to food. That would be ridiculous, right? So I had to learn how to trade that out. But I did start with targeted supplementation, and I found out that I could change the way that my engine was functioning. And this was just a little over 10 years ago. And now I get to help women compress time and lose sizes who are insulin resistant. So that's kind of my little nutshell. And so I'm really, really glad that for anybody, I'm so thankful for anybody that stops, pauses, pays attention, and hear me say, Insulin resistance is 100% reversible, and you can change your entire direction. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. You really, really can. This is not a terminal diagnosis. That's not what this is. There are terminal diagnoses, and those are tough, right? Those are hard. That's not this, you guys. This is streamlined. This is simple in concept. Your hardest things will be your mindset and your heart connections. Okay? All right, so let's do it. Let's do it this morning. You would love if you could get a great meatball recipe. Well, I'm going to tell you, this is not a keto meatball recipe. It's a family recipe. And so I don't give it out, but I also I make it once a year. I shouldn't say, I don't give out the recipe, but I do give out the meatballs. We make a lot of meatballs. I'll do round 1 on Monday, and then I will be making I do a lot of meatballs, and then I give them out to friends and stuff. But I know I would love a really good, I've not actually tried an alternate to what I'm doing. I have not. You have to watch on the replay, have to leave, finish your Christmas shopping. Have a wonderful day. Bye, Lisa. I'm sure you're already gone. That's amazing. Your auntie drank Tab all the time and you couldn't stand it. Of course. I know. We had so much Tab in our house. It was ridiculous. That's just all we ever had. You love my story. Thank you. You're so sweet. It's just my own little authentic corner of the universe. And I really do, you guys all have your own story. And I want you to know that no matter how far along you are on your journey, I just want people to have hope and encouragement. I really do, because the fallout sucks. Let's just be real. The fallout is, all of the high blood pressure and the PCOS and the type 2 and dementia. And I could go on and on and on. It's a lot of fallout. So let's deal with the insulin resistance now. Okay. So 7 signs, you guys, that you don't want to ignore about insulin resistance. And this is literally from Dr. Eric Berg. I saw a reel of his. And so what I'm doing with this is I want to be able to give you more than just, boom, 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 boom. Okay, we're done. I want to give you just a little bit deeper according to kind of what he said. So, you can have any one of these symptoms and not be insulin resistant. You can also be skinny and be insulin resistant. You don't have to be overweight. It's a challenge because we always think that we're going to be overweight. It's common, but it's not necessary. So here we go. All right. This, I think, has an interesting twist on it, according to what he said. So according to the doctor said, you're pre-diabetic. What is the best to eat for breakfast? Protein. Protein. I will get off of here. I haven't eaten yet. I'll have 3 eggs. And I'll have a chicken sausage. You can get a really good brand from Aldi's called Never Any. You can get one from Walmart called Gilbert. And my breakfast will be 32 grams of protein. And you should be getting up over 100 grams a day. That's really a very minimal amount. You should take your goal weight and turn that into grams of protein every single day. And when you eat protein like that, like eggs and bacon or eggs and chicken sausage, your blood sugar it'll hum like a beautiful little melody. It'll be like, and you will be full and satiated for hours. So protein. That's a really big deal. And I work with a lot of people who are they don't know, they're they are, some are on meds, some are not on meds. I understand the whole scope of that. All right, warning sign number 1, that you might be insulin resistant, or just a sign that you just didn't know about: excessive urination, okay? So you wake up multiple times during the night to pee. Now that doesn't have to be insulin resistance. This is just a thought process, right? Okay, so why? And this is where I want you to get some understanding, because you have too much sugar in your blood and your kidneys are filtering it into urine. So your kidneys are working. And my dad, at the end of his life, 2 years of dialysis on his kidneys. He needed a kidney transplant. And I was a match, but they wouldn't let me give him a kidney because of the diabetes in our family, which led me to believe that it was only ever genetic, which is not true. It's not true. That's another topic for another time. But you have too much sugar in your blood, and so your kidneys are filtering. So you have to get up and go pee in the middle of the night a lot. Wherever the sugar goes, the water follows. And this is from Dr. Eric Berg's information, okay? Wherever sugar goes, water follows. So you're losing fluid. All right? Many assume, like many men, so if there's a guy in your life that needs this information, share it with him. Okay. Maybe you want to help him to understand. Many men will assume that it's a prostate issue, but it could very well be an insulin resistance issue. That's the real problem. Think about how many people are on medications, Dr. Berg said, because their diet isn't right. It's 100% reversible, you guys. Number 2, excessive thirst. And let me know in the comments if this was you and you fixed it, or if it's something that you're identifying as we go through these 7 that you're like, oh, I had not picked up on that one yet. I'd love to know. Excessive thirst. You're constantly thirsty because you're losing water due to high blood pressure, high blood sugar. Okay, so your sugar is high. Your kidneys are filtering, doing their job. You're losing fluid. So now you're thirsty. So there's the cycle going on. Okay. High blood glucose causes you to retain sodium. Your body needs more water to dilute it. This leads to dehydration and potassium deficiency. If you will know if you have low potassium, if you're getting poor sleep, you have a high heart rate, and increased blood pressure. So do you see? I was just asked this question the other day. I have somebody that has high blood pressure. What should I recommend that they take, out of the supplement line? And I said, well, first of all, there's a reason. You don't just wake up one day and have high blood pressure just for the heck of it. That's not how this works. That's a symptom of an underlying situation. Now, remember, I'm just an Italian girl who figured out things, not a doctor. But I would say dollars to donuts, and I have no idea what that means. Does anybody know what that means? Dollars to donuts? I have to look that one up. I'll bet dollars to donuts that they have an underlying condition like insulin resistance. I'll bet you anything that they do. Oh, man. Oh, here we go. Where did dollars to donuts come from? I wonder if you guys already know. Let's see where that comes from. So the American idiom, dollars to donuts, originated in the mid-1800s. Are you freaking kidding me right now? It's a rhetorical device that means someone is so certain of something that they'd make a bet that would pay them little if they won and cost them a great deal if they lost. The idiom likely comes from the fact that at the time, you guys, this is super funny, donuts were only worth a few nickels, while dollars were worth a lot more. The phrase may also be related to other expressions from the 1880s, such as bet dollars to buttons. I've never heard that one, have you? And bet dollars to dumplings. It's dollars to donuts that in the future, banks will charge more for their services. That's putting it in a sentence. Okay, that was our fun for the morning. That's really funny. All right, so when you are thirsty, when you're dehydrated and it's causing low potassium, that might then be causing poor sleep, high heart rate, and increased blood pressure. Okay, so if you have high blood pressure, consider the fact that it might be insulin resistance, but then also get really, really, really excited. Why do you want to be really, really excited? Because then if you can turn back, if you can become more insulin sensitive, insulin resistant, insulin sensitive, insulin resistant, insulin sensitive, guess what? You can turn back the symptoms. This is why one of the symptoms of belly fat, weight gain, can also get turned back. I've lost 3 sizes in my 50s after my cycle stopped. Because insulin resistance is a hormonal conversation, weight loss is a hormonal conversation, and insulin is a hormone. And even more than that, it's a fat storing hormone. So get really excited if you're sitting on content like this and you are getting understanding, because that understanding is going to pay off in spades in 2025 for you. Because now things are going to make sense and you're going to be like, oh, my goal is to become insulin sensitive. Yes. Where? In your cell. So this is a calorie in, calorie out problem? No, it's a cellular hormonal problem. Boom, like get excited, get excited. This is why I've been having the symptoms I told you about. Yeah, ta-da! I know, right? I know. Yes, yes. I'm just telling you, like, it just all of a sudden, when it makes sense, then stop shaming yourself and then just take action that you know is so that you can turn things around. It's not about you being a bad person or you being lame sauce because you don't have enough willpower, because on Monday you didn't fix everything cold turkey. No, this is about you going, oh, I need the scientific understanding so that I can move forward. I'm just telling you. Okay, so that's number 2, excessive thirst. Number 3, and I always repeat them at the very end. I just go through them really fast. So I'll get them at the end again. Warning sign number 3, skin changes. Darken skin in the folds of your body, like your neck and your underarms. Okay, so in your neck and in your underarms, you could get darkened skin patches. And why? Don't we want to know why? It's because too much glucose causes these patches to appear. So it's a high sugar conversation. It's literally changing the color of your skin. And I don't know if you knew that before. These dark folds are a key indicator of blood sugar problems. That's number 3. Number 4, brain fog. And if you guys are doing any commenting on Facebook or YouTube, I can't see any comments today. I apologize. When I get off, I will look and I will talk to you. So keep talking. Don't slow down. I just can't see for whatever reason. Number 4, brain fog. Feeling mentally cloudy. This was me. Whoa, was this me in my 40s? I was very mentally foggy, very unable to multitask. But the problem is that I was at a job that required me to multitask at a high level. And my coworkers were like in their 20s. So they didn't have a hard time multitasking. I'm just saying, like, I needed to figure that out. So feeling mentally cloudy or unfocused. And he says, Dr. Berg, that he struggled with that for years. Me too. Eating lots of carbs starves your neurons. Have you ever heard anybody tell you that before? Eating high carbs, it's starving your neurons because they can't properly use glucose for fuel. If left unchecked, this could lead to conditions like dementia, a type of brain starvation. Okay? Like, these are the connections that we have needed to be given to us a long, long time ago before we ended up. And I know there are many factors, and I am not a doctor, and I know there's a lot that goes into it. So blah, blah, blah. But my circle, my little wheelhouse is insulin resistance. So I'll just talk about it in that light. Okay. And meaning that if that's a major factor in dementia, let's freaking wake up, because dementia sucks so bad. It's so bad. We took care of my mom for 5 years. Okay. And then she died at 94. And super grateful that we had the opportunity, but wow, does it suck. And you go into a facility and what do they feed you? Sugar, 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 sugar. Every time you turn around. I mean, it is obnoxious. It's bad. And it didn't matter which facility we went to. It didn't matter. And it didn't matter that she was considered type 2. It didn't matter. Because she had, I won't go down that road. It's obnoxious. So if we know better, we can do better and we can prevent things. Okay. So if left unchecked, this can lead to conditions like dementia. So if you're brain foggy, the first thing that I did to deal with it, like short term, like quickly, was I used adaptogenic herbs. And I know somebody reached out to me yesterday asking me about the adaptogenic herbs that I use. So you can always ask me and I'll get you hooked up so you can deal with your brain fog a little bit. Linda, good to see you. Hey, welcome in. You're right, it's both. I can see comments. Thank you for commenting because that means that they will intermittently pop up for me. I appreciate that. Number 5, it is both. It's so bad. I could do an entire live hour on what that looked like inside of facilities for my mother and how they just kept on feeding her everything that was wrong for her, even though she was mentally a child and could not assess her own life. Number 5, mood swings. Feeling cranky, irritable, or an emotional roller coaster. Has anybody ever told you that that could be insulin resistance? Why? High blood sugar. Spikes and crashes caused by insulin. So you're eating, let's say something that's high carb. You have this big bowl of pasta and bread, and you spike your sugars. Your insulin deploys like delivery trucks to go get that sugar. It's going to shuttle it into your cell. And so it's going to try to bring that blood sugar down, down, down. Well, on that crash, that can be really causing a lot of mood swings and irritability. You're hangry. Hangry. Many mood disorders, even anxiousness, you know the real word, involve blood sugar problems. There's a fact, he says, some psychiatrists find, hold on to your hats for this one now. Just file this right back here. File this for future reference. This is according to Dr. Berg. All of this information is Dr. Berg. Some psychiatrists find 80 to 90% of mental health issues connect to blood sugar. And I'll make a side note on that. That is why when you watch people's journeys on carnivore, I'm not carnivore, but when you do, there's one specific guy on TikTok. He's like in his upper 20s. And he said, my mental health issues disappear when I'm carnivore. They disappear. I'm just telling you, like, you guys, we have to stop thinking that everything is genetic and there's nothing we can do about it. And the only answer is another script. Stop it. We have to stop it. I'm just saying. Good morning, Magda. Oh, you're totally good. You're totally good. Linda, your grandma had dementia. Yep. Nasty. Nasty. All right, number 6, cravings for sugar and salty carbs. It's not just sweets. Do you crave chips or salty carbs? Your body wants instant relief from blood sugar roller coaster. Crash. Oh no. Crave, crave, crave. Get it up. Crash. Oh no. Crave, crave, crave. Get it up. Cycle. The problem, you'll keep eating what you are in the mood for, but it's the wrong signal. It's the wrong signal. Cravings are a huge red flag for insulin resistance. And I'm going to pause and say, so again, stop being so unkind to yourself. Stop being so mean to yourself, thinking that you're just such a freaking loser, that you have no self-control, you have no willpower. Maybe somebody said that to you in the past and you hung on to that. You're just undisciplined. You're just not like whatever. I could just go on, but pause and go, oh, I am actually in a scientific cycle. I'm in a biological cycle. I need to break my biological cycle. Take the emotion out of it. I know there's emotional eating. I know there's stress eating. I'm not stupid. Like, how do you think I know these things, right? Like, I could talk about that, like, especially when I took care of my mom with dementia. There might be a little bit of stress eating. I get all of that. That's another conversation. But when it comes to those, just you feel the urge to eat sugar or salty. Like you just, because you are wanting that, your body is like, quick fix, quick fix. Come on, get that blood sugar up right now. Eat a freaking potato chip. I just am saying. So just understand that there's a biological process. So who asked me earlier that, what should I eat for breakfast if I'm pre-diabetic? Eggs. Ditch the oatmeal, like throw it away. That oatmeal is going to spike your sugar to the freaking moon. Don't do it. Skim milk, pour it down the drain. Skim milk is all sugar. You got to stop. That's how my dad ate all the time. He ate cereal and skim milk, cereal and skim milk, cereal and skim milk. And then he was dead at 63. Like, stop. Eggs, protein, protein, protein. Bacon. You can get good bacon. You can get good sausages. You can get chicken sausages. You can protein that does not spike you. Stabilize your blood sugar, stabilize your mood. Carol, thank you for liking. You're amazing. I appreciate you. Stabilize your life. Stabilize how you're feeling. Get your mental health under control. Amazing. Number 7. That is crazy, Lori says. Cheryl, hi. Good to see you. You're late too. No problem. Hey, it's Christmas season, girls. Today I'm going to take off. I have a Zoom at 1, but I have to take off and go get our half a beef. So we're going to travel an hour to go pick up our beef. On our way back, we're probably going to have to stop and do some shopping. There's no question. I'm going to make spaghetti sauce tomorrow. We have Mall of America fun with our family on Sunday. I'm making meatballs on Monday. Christmas Eve is on Tuesday. I understand what's going on. I'm not confused. Oh, everybody can catch the replay. Everybody can catch the replay. You guys on TikTok, just jump over to IG or Facebook and get the replay if you are coming in late. Blurry vision, you guys, number 7. The lens of your eye becomes swollen with fluid, making it hard to focus. Symptoms can include red eyelids, gritty sand feeling in your eyes, and over time, high blood sugar impacts your vision more and more. Okay. So now, and then that was my grandpa Fergali. He died when I was 9. So I don't have a ton of memories of him, but the memories that I do have of him, and he came from Italy. So he spoke broken English and anyway, but he was in a wheelchair and he was blind. That's my memory of my grandpa. And crying. He cried a lot because he was blind. So again, we take any of these symptoms to the extreme and we're not happy. We're not happy. So every day I will say, this is 100% reversible. I promise you it is. According to my layman research, you can actually make huge differences. You can make really fast differences in like your blood pressure and all sorts of things just by changing the way you eat. That's why people take strong steps and they go carnivore, because it's an immediate shutdown of anything that's spiking your sugars. You're like shutting down the factory really fast. And it doesn't mean you have to be there forever. It doesn't mean that you have to, whatever. Like there are some people that do, but that's not what that means. It just means that you're taking immediate action to shut down the factory. Okay. Because maybe I've had people say, I'm losing my vision. I've had people message me that I'm losing my vision. I'm, because the detrimental effects of type 2 down the road, not pretty. So we want to deal with it now. So the 7 symptoms, again, 7 signs that you don't want to ignore. And I'll go through these quickly just so that you can get a recap. Yeah, Lori says, that's crazy. 80 to 90% of mental health is related to glucose. It makes sense. I think I already read that. That's really, really good though. I mean, because honestly, you guys, who thinks this stuff? I want to make sure I'm not missing. Yep. Okay. Good. Nancy says she's type 2. You're on insulin and you're on the carnivore diet and your sugars are in 2 and 300s. And you do cut back on your insulin. but you're eating carnivore. So you're saying your sugars are still really high on carnivore. Is that what you're saying? And you're having a hard time, Nancy? Is that kind of what you're saying? How long have you been carnivore? I'd love to know. When I wear this shirt, you guys, it's so light. I can't read the comments. If you go like this. I'd love to know how long you've been carnivore. Yeah. And I will say, I've had many, many people come to me and say, I got my A1C down. I still can't lose a pound. I've been keto for 3 years. My weight stalled out. I can't lose 1 pound. I've just had so many testimonies from so many people. And I will tell you that this is where targeted supplementation can come in. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. When you have a car that's over 100,000 miles, and maybe your body is over 100,000 miles, maybe your body is over 150,000 miles, maybe your body, like a really, a car that's taken a beating a little bit, is over 200,000 miles, and you need to take it in for maintenance, and you need your engine cleaned up, and you need your cells to start firing again, functioning, opening up for sensitivity. You need your liver to hello, wake up, start performing so that you can regulate my glucose and regulate my hormones. Insulin is a hormone. So you can help me with my cortisol. Come on, liver, come on. And you need to get your body moving again. I'm telling you, like your best friend. That's why when I started the trio, I had no idea how much that was going to help my body. And those are the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. They support insulin sensitivity. Okay? Changed everything for me. I'm the only one in my family that avoided type 2, and I'm not on any meds, and I'll be 60 next month. You love Dr. Berg. You use his magnesium glycinate. Do you recommend a different magnesium? Shireen, not right this minute. I have one launching in March, and you'll hear all about it when it launches in March, and I'm going to tell you why. We saw the guy, the expert, not last night, but the night before. And he said, this magnesium is going to just blow you right out of the water because, well, he didn't say it that way. I'm saying it that way, but it is sourced from water. It's a marine source, and it's a blend that's going to, he said, for stress and sleep, you're going to be very happy. So I will tell everybody about that when it launches in March for sure, obviously. And it's a blend, and it's high. He said it is so absorbable, and it is going to help so many people. So I'm very excited. You did strict carnivore hold on. I want to see what she said because I might have missed it. I've been carnivore for just a couple of weeks, but I'm wondering if I should cut back on. Nancy, my layman understanding, give time. And I'm going to even say this. I had somebody who, she came to me and she said, I found out that I was type 2 because I had a stroke. My A1C was at a 13. I worked for 3 years with my doctor to get my A1C down, but I couldn't drop a pound. I started on the trio, she said, and the first 2 weeks, she said, my sugars went up. And I interviewed her. Online, and I said, tell me why then, if your sugars went up in 2 weeks, and she's the only person that's ever told me this, so don't let that scare you. I said, why did you stick with it? She goes, I had a feeling that was just a faulty, like a reaction of just a moment. And then what happened was over the following 2 months, her morning sugars dropped 30 points and she dropped 14 pounds, having not been able to drop 1 pound in 3 years. Not 1 pound. Even though her A1C came down from a 13 down to like a 6 point something. She just couldn't there was something not firing. There was something not quite right. Okay. So even when you start something like that kind of a protocol, that's not enough time to know that. It's just not. And you want all of that protein. You want all of that meat. You want all of that goodness in your body. You want that nutritional density, and you want your protein to be high, high, high. You really do. You do. Okay. And then, hold on, I'm missing. Okay, I think I'm okay. And then you said you did strict carnivore for 120 days. You lost 29 pounds, but your blood sugar didn't budge for a while, like 8 weeks. Started walking first thing in the morning and after dinner, and then your blood sugar went down. So you needed an extra. And that's why I wish that it were as simple as, yeah, you can't wait for the magnesium launch. Me too. I'm all over that, man. I talked to him about it because I'm like, women, I know everybody's needs magnesium. I get it. But man, my circle, y'all, we are magnesium knowers. We know what it does for our bodies. It's so huge. I will say that, when it comes to dealing with insulin resistance, I wish it was as easy as one fixes everything, like one size fits all. One size, all of you, same thing, everybody do the same thing. There are points of that. There's like I have a starting point. I always talk about like a good, better, best. And I have a separate video for each three. And they're like 2.5 to 3.5 minutes. Like they're short, but that can explain good, better, best, good, better, best. Okay. And you can always reach out to me and say, you want to see that video. You want to see that cart. So the good is starting with the trio. Those are the 3 supplements that help with insulin sensitivity. The better is taking these 3. Okay. These 3, that's the trio, and adding in a gut reset protocol. This is a primer right here. This is a primer. It's not a greens product. It looks like a greens product, but it's not. It has pre and postbiotics and digestive enzymes and the fermented greens that your liver wants and the alkaline spices, because you need a completely different environment in your microbiome, right? You need the fiber from fruits and vegetable extracts. It's all off of organic farms. It's amazing. It's not going to make your body work harder. It's going to make it work smarter. And because you're able to, like, you prime your body, like your gut, like you prime the walls of your house, or you prime your face for foundation. So even though it looks like a greens product, and I have one in my line, and it's organic and it's amazing. And we know the conversation about greens. Like if you know anything about greens, all of a sudden it starts showing up all over your ads on your Instagram, your Facebook, your TikTok, whatever, right? Greens are great. I'm not putting them down. I'm not saying that. That's not this. Okay. This is completely different. This is literally recalibrating your gut. It's a recalibration. And so when you take it every morning, you take it at the beginning of your day, and that helps you so that you are able to bring down the inflammation in your gut, actually absorb your nutrients, because nutrient deficiencies are what's causing the issues in many, many cases. Okay. And liver health, oral health. So good, trio, better, trio with the gut reset protocol. This is a probiotic. You've got to get good yogurt and kefir. It's not enough. It's not enough. We've literally killed off species in our gut in America. It's just the way that it is. We have a very, very lacking diversity species in our guts, just because of the way we've eaten for the last 60, 70 years. So adding in the gut protocol. And then the best would be if you really wanted to make fast movements with your belly and your hips, add in the orange pixie stick, add in the thermogenic, and do this for 90 days and then stop. 90 days. And then he said, stop and give your body a break, because you don't want to get used to it. And I will tell you the difference that has made in my hips narrowing right here on my side has been, I never thought that was going to happen. I'll be 60 next month. I never thought that was going to happen. It's a clinical dose of an extract, and it just targets. These are the years of science that we were waiting for. When we grew up, we were like, oh, if there was only a magic pill, if there was only a this, if there was only that. Well, I would never say, because I always tell you guys, like, I don't want to do jazz hands. This is magical. This is amazing. I don't want to do that. But we have caught up now to where science can actually use things like that to really target that belly and that hip fat, and then take a break after 90 days and then go back at it again. Take a break for 30 days. And that's what I'm in the middle of doing right now. I'm taking a break, and I'm not going to lie. I don't like taking the break, but I've been on it since August. So I'm going to take a break now for 30 days. And the reason why I don't like it is because it is an orange pixie stick. It tastes like candy, and I haven't eaten anything like that in a long time. So I really do appreciate this little treat in my day. But I'm setting it aside for 30 days. And then I'll get back at it on January 19th. I've already tracked it. But anyway, so there's a good, better, best thought process. And some of you have done the best cart, and some of you are just starting with the trio, and it's okay. But if you can get your insides to start moving, the trio alone, bring down your insulin, bring down your sugars, get your liver functioning at a different level. That's where you're lifting up the hood of your vehicle, your body, and you're allowing maintenance. If you're over 200,000 miles and you've never, ever changed your oil, stop requiring or expecting your body to do things that it's not going to do if we haven't begun to like get the acid off of the connectors of the battery. If we haven't filled up the power steering fluid, how are we supposed to steer? If we haven't changed the oil, if we haven't done any maintenance on the inside with the visceral fat, etc., why are we expecting our bodies to function and to metabolize glucose? Like, if you want to, the last thing that he had, the most recent thing that he added to thought process, these are 2 little purple like capsules that you take at the beginning of the day. And this is a metabolic pre and post biotic. So I just started taking these metabolic pre and post. And the reason why is he said, different strains will actually help you to metabolize the glucose in your body. So that's why it helps your metabolism. And I'm like, that is so interesting. Like, I don't know a lot of these things until we're taught them, right? So super, super fun. The Debbie, that is I'll send you a link to that. It is Ignite, and it is it's a blood orange extract. And I think that you will find it very, very good. And again, I sent my best friend in Texas 3 boxes for 90 days. And I'm like, we'll chat in 90 days. She's going to have to take a break anyway. Right. And so that's perfect. So she can see, measure yourself though. Will you please measure yourself? I didn't. And I should have. I did take a picture kind of halfway through, but I feel like I kind of missed my window of real good picture. Take a picture, because for whatever reason, I just gain on my hips, and they just kind of stick out, and I don't like that. Right? It's like, and you want that to go away. It just can be annoying. I shouldn't complain, but it's just annoying. And a lot of people are dealing with a lot of belly fat, and you want something that'll come in and really target that visceral fat. And it's a thermogenic. That's why you have to take a break. A thermogenic is heating up. So you could call it a fat burner. That would not be how they would make a claim on that. So we always want to be careful, but that's kind of what we would think of, that it would burn your fat, because it's heating up, it's thermogenic. That's why and I loved how he talked about this the other night, when you eat meat, it takes, I should look at my notes. It takes so much energy in your body thermogenically to digest meat. That's why they call it the meat sweats, but that's actually a really good thing. It takes 0 effort to metabolize fat. That doesn't mean we should stop eating fat. You just have to understand. But when you eat meat, your body has to really work at it to digest, right? But then it's heating up. It's thermogenic food. Well, this is thermogenic powder. I hope that makes sense. So it's literally causing your body to expend way more calories and more everything to really help you with your metabolism. You're welcome, Debbie. You are so welcome. Yeah, I'll send that to you. Why taking the break, Shireen? Because it is a thermogenic product, and you don't want your body to get used to it. So go 90 days. And then he said, take time off. And so I did some research, and the research says a good 30 days. You could even take a break for 4 to 6 weeks. I'm going to do 30 because I'm going to be my own guinea pig in conversation with you guys. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so 7 signs that you don't want to overlook for insulin resistance. Here we go. Number 1, excessive urination, especially at night. Oftentimes men think that it's their prostate and it might be insulin resistance. Number 2, excessive thirst, because your kidneys are working to metabolize all of that glucose or to filter it. And so you're dumping fluids and now you're thirsty. But it could be leading you to like low levels of potassium, which are creating poor sleep, a high heart rate, and increased blood pressure. Number 3, skin changes. Too much sugar literally darkens patches on your neck and under your arms. Number 4, brain fog, feeling cloudy or unfocused. And eating lots of carbs on a regular basis, you're literally starving your neurons because they can't properly use glucose for fuel. This is how we end up on that road towards dementia. Number 5, mood swings. It's feeling cranky, irritable, emotional roller coaster. And it can be because it's not because your blood sugar is high, it's because your blood sugar crashes. And so when your blood sugar crashes, that's when the hangriness and the irritability and the mood swing is kicking in. So many mood disorders, even anxiety, involve blood sugar problems. And some psychiatrists say that 80 to 90% of mental health issues are connected to blood sugar. That's amazing. Number 6, cravings for sugar and salty carbs. And it's not just sweets, it can be chips, salty carbs. Your body wants instant relief from the roller coaster. So when you crash, you want instant relief. That's why you want to eat chips. You want to eat a Snicker bar. You want to go grab a sugary Starbucks because your body is wants instant relief from the crash. Major red flag, he says. Number 7, blurry vision. This is the last one. The lens of your eye becomes swollen with fluid, making it hard to focus. Symptoms can include red eyelids, gritty sand-like feeling in your eyes, and over time, high blood sugar impacts your vision more and more. And that was information coming from Dr. Eric Berg, who I really appreciate a lot of his information. And obviously the things that you could do, you can test your blood sugar to see if you have high sugars. You can reduce your carbs and you can focus on a low sugar diet. I mean, we talk about that all the time. That's not news, right? And then supplements, like I just talked about, the trio. You could do the trio with the gut reset. You could do the trio, the gut reset, and the fat burner. You can do all 3, good, better, best, however you want to do it. And then ask me, because I'll be able to help you get what you need and don't get what you don't need. Like, do what's right for your specific circumstance. It's why it's not a one size fits all for everybody all the time. So if you're noticing any of the signs, I'm just reading here. If you're noticing any of those signs, don't ignore them. And know that it's reversible. Know that it is. Get excited. Somebody who has stage 4 something, they don't think it's going to be reversible. And they're probably told that it's not. I've never been in that situation, but I'm just saying, oftentimes you're questioning that. But that's not this, you guys. So while you have a diagnosis of something that you have control over, seize it, grab it, shift it. I'm getting it so that I can, I'm changing a few buttons like on a website thingamajig so that I can get to you a free protein guide. It's not ready to just give to you yet. I'm trying to figure this out. Maybe I'll get it figured out today. I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. But my point being is that there's literally a track to run on. I kind of post it here for TikTok because it makes it easier for you guys, just because I can't communicate the same way. But you can get started on targeted supplementation. I have a protein guide that basically is not just a a breakdown of like, what does 20 grams look like? What does 40 grams look like? What does 50 grams look like? So that you can like feel less overwhelmed, but also some recommendations as to what that could be for some really good animal proteins for you. But then there's the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And inside of that group, every month we do a 5-day reset. We're going to do our 20th one in January, on January 6th. So there's a track for you where you can be encouraged and resourced. Every day we go live here at 10 a.m. Monday through Friday, Central Standard Time, to talk about insulin resistance and to be able to be a part of community. So you don't ever have to feel alone. You don't have to just go buy something, some little kit at GNC and not have any community or help or understanding or tips and tricks and all of those things. This is a completely different track than what other people are doing. Because number one, you do not want to have if you're insulin resistant, you don't want a program that's giving you a bunch of processed food. Let's just stop that completely. We have to get back to just eating real food, having a very simple thought process, and then learning a few tips and tricks specifically for you that can help you still be a foodie. If you're a foodie, I'm a foodie. I'm an Italian foodie. So I had to find the things that I trade out for me that might not be exciting for you. But then you'll find things for you that I may not care about. But that's the point. You don't have to stop being a foodie. You don't have to spend your days beating yourself up. You don't have to wake up and start like being unkind to yourself for the minute you wake up. You don't have to do any of that mess. You can do this without shame. And you can do this with great results. And you can learn how to really love your life and love your journey. Once you've entered insulin resistance land, it's not a bad place. Meaning like, you don't have to we should never get there to begin with, right? Like, I understand that. I'm not saying that it's okay, just do what you want. That's not what I'm saying. But once we're there, if we just wake up to it and embrace it and realize, okay, this is where I'm at, no shame, I'm just going to turn things back. And I'm going to take steps to move me in a good direction. Okay. And that's where we come in. That's where I'm able to walk people and help you condense time and lose sizes. It's like, it's a different world, the program that teaches you how to count points. If that's not created for insulin resistant people, that's not a program for you. You might lose weight temporarily, but you have not dealt with the issue that you have. And that is that your cell has closed the door to insulin because it's resistant now. And the key insulin, it's not working in the lock anymore. It's like, why isn't this working? Oh, well, I'm a fat storing hormone. Let's get busy storing fat all over your body. And some of it's going to be visceral, kind of dangerous, but oh, well. That's what's going on. So counting points with a program that's telling you that popcorn is 1 point, when it turns into like 5 cups of popcorn is 1 point, when it turns into 9 teaspoons of sugar in your blood. No, stop. So in the group I do teach grain-free and sugar-free, legume-free, although I'll have peanut butter sometimes. But I'm telling you, the ingredients that I use in my pantry, I make all the food that I love. I just used a different set of ingredients. That's all. And I'm still a foodie. Thank you for the likes, Lori. You're amazing. You are amazing. I appreciate that so much. It gets the word out. So anyway, I think I answered that one. I think I'm good. All right. So you guys have the most blessed day ever. I hope that your weekend is filled with really good, happy things for getting ready for Christmas. Try not to be too stressed. Don't sabotage yourself and reach out to me. If you need a cart for good, better, or best to help with your insulin resistance, and even if you ask for the best, you don't have to get it all, but you can see what all 3 of those components are. It's like a 3.5-minute video. Super easy. Don't sabotage yourself. Ask for the information. Good information and knowledge is never a disadvantage. Ever, 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 ever. Okay. And then try really hard as you're getting up to Christmas. Try to find moments where you can have mindfulness for yourself, where you can spend a little bit of time taking deep breaths and you can just enjoy and be present because it gets busy and I understand. And we hit up, and I'll be back here 10 a.m. on Monday. And I know what it's like to be around food pushers and people who do not understand your journey. And so I'll encourage you with this, whether you're going to a party or you're going to, Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, and you are, like there are certain people you don't want to be around. You don't have to tell them anything. Just be inside of your own head with your own journey. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to continually tell them no. You're not going to eat that piece of pie or whatever. You can just be like, you know what? I'm super full. I'll so let you know. I mean, if it's hard, if it's, if people are just, they won't leave it alone because they're taking pleasure in you eating their food. And so it's about them and it's not about you. Okay. So stand in your own shoes and, you do the best you can and then no shame. And get yourself positioned for January 6th. The reset, 5-day reset, get yourself positioned, get your products in hand, be ready to go, get yourself mentally ready. January 6th is right about when everybody else is giving up on their New Year's resolutions, but maybe that's not you. And maybe it's not a New Year's resolution. Maybe it's I'm going to chunk out a life change here, one step at a time, one ingredient at a time, and I'm going to see where I am, let's say in June. I'm going to see where I am a little longer down the road. I'm not going to be like, I'm changing everything right now and I'm going to set myself up for failure. And then I'm going to beat myself up and tell me what a loser I am because I didn't do it again in 2025. Stop that mess. Stop it, stop it, stop it. None of that business, none of that BS. Just stop that. Okay? Don't do that. Instead go, I'm actually just going to have a long-term thought process here. Maybe I'm even going to throw my scale away because I heard Kirsten got rid of her scale like 7 years ago. Throw it away. Get rid of it. It's only telling you gravity. It's only telling you how much impacted waste, water, muscle you have on your body at any given time. Stop it. Measure yourself. Get yourself a little fabric measuring tape at Joann Fabrics. Go get yourself one. Measure yourself, write it down, stick that little paper in your bathroom drawer. Measure your arms, measure the top of your thighs, and then measure your hip, your waist, and underneath your chest, your ribs. Like maybe the size of your bra going around, right? Measure. And then put that paper away. And then just get busy being consistent. Not beating yourself up, not losing sleep, not feeling like a victim, that your life is so restricted. Don't do any of that. Just get busy with consistency as best you can, and it will get better and it will get easier. And you will find ingredient trade-outs where you're like, oh, wow, since I found that one recipe or that one, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. And that's where I am now. I don't miss out on anything. That's how I feel all the time. But it took me 3 to 4 years to get there. Okay. So just know you got a little bit of stuff up here going on, a little stuff in your heart going on, emotional connections. It's okay. We'll deal with that too. Okay. We do a lot with that inside of the group. So get in the group. Don't miss out on the group because we got good stuff going on to help you with all that mindset piece. So anyway, okay. Have a super good day. I am going to go get ready to pick up our half of beef. And be blessed, you guys. You guys are amazing. Enjoy all of your shopping. I know I will.